Yo, 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 what's poppin'? So the Warriors just had their first preseason game. And not to get ahead of myself, not to get too crazy here, but the Warriors just might. The Warriors are back. The Warriors are back. And it's going to be a fun season, man. Steph Curry has a squad. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Al Horford. The oldest core in the league, man. These Gramps, the Unks, the old heads, the OGs. They about to surprise a lot of people, man. With the support of these young dudes who looks like they're ready, they're finally ready to offer that real support, them young legs. It's going to be a fun season. We got Moody, who's looking like he's ready to take a leap. We got Jonathan Kuminga, who's playing the game that the Warriors want him to play, but also still picking his spots and being aggressive. We got Pods, who's looking solid as ever. We got Quinton Post, still shooting, still making them solid. We got some new young dudes. We got Will Richards, I like the activity. I like the seamlessness of his fit. He's fitting right in, man. It's a lot to be excited about. Welcome in, y'all. Won't y'all put y'all initial reactions to preseason game 1 in the comments? Let me see what y'all thinking. I know what I'm thinking. I think the Warriors are back. Now, I know they're an older squad, man. And the key to this season is going to be health, for sure. But if these dudes can stay healthy and get to the playoffs in one piece, intact, with these old geezers healthy, nobody wants to play them in a series. Nobody. Not OKC. Not the Denver Nuggets. Nobody wants to play these dudes in a playoff series, man. Because teams are going to make the old, like other fan bases, they're going to make the old jokes all season. They're going to laugh at the Warriors. Steph Curry's 37. Jimmy Butler's 36. Draymond Green's 35 or 36. I think it's 36. Al Horford's 39. He's going to be 40 in June. They're an old squad. But don't let these dudes get in the playoffs healthy, man, because them old jokes is going to get real quiet when these old heads are running them off the court, man. Maybe not running them off the court, but, they're going to play them off the court. IQ, defensive intelligence, and they have the support of these young dudes, man, these young legs to get them there. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Brandon Pajemski, Quinton Post. Guy Santos. Guy Santos is going to be very helpful this season, man. Guy Santos is a good player, bro. Good role player. Let's start with the starting lineup. Steve Kerr decided, you know what? Let's go small. Let's go small. Let's troll everybody. Let's go small. And you know what? I don't even care, bro. It's preseason. Steve Kerr is just trying to try some stuff. It is what it is. I think the real reason Steve Kerr went small is because, number one, he wanted to reward Moody and Podge for playing hard and playing good in preseason and, taking those positive steps forward. But number two, I think the real reason Steve Kerr brought Al Horford off the bench, and by the way, once the regular season starts, Al Horford's going to be the starter. I think they had to, assure him of that when he was deciding to come here. But they had to basically say that, yeah, you're going to be the starter. No need to worry. So I don't think Al Horford's tripping. He's just, he's just trying to ease his way in. He's definitely going to be the starter when the season starts. But for the preseason, we're trying to see the reason. Okay, the point I was trying to make. The reason Steve Kerr brought Al Horford off the bench is because he wanted to see his minutes next to Kuminga. Kuminga and Al Horford is going to be a very key lineup combination. Because Al Horford, as I've been telling y'all all offseason, all the dudes in the comments saying Al Horford's old. Why are the Warriors picking up Al Horford? Did you see him defensively? I know it was preseason, but did you see him? Defensive anchor, bro. He's not no elite rim protector, but he is very, very solid. He's in the upper echelon of defensive bigs. Not because of his physical presence, not because of his athleticism, because of his IQ. He knows exactly where to be at all times. He's never out of place. He's never out of position. And he moves quick enough to get there and cover up and be in position to make a play defensively, man. He's extremely disciplined defensively. He's an amazing communicator. I mean, the dude's been in the league for 19 seasons. He's been a part of great defenses. He's probably just as big of a communicator as Draymond. So you got two veterans, all time b-ball IQs, two great linebackers of the defense, amazing communicators. You have two of those guys with Draymond and Al Horford. So when Draymond's off the court, you got Al Horford. You could put him out there with all young guard. You could put Al Horford out there with a lineup of all younger dudes, and he can hold it all together. Not just with his spacing, not just with his complementary passing, but his communication defensively, his ability to anchor a defense. Man, this is gonna be a very exciting season, bro. I know Al Horford's 39 years old, but his addition to this roster, the amount of versatility his presence brings to this roster, unlocking lineups. Now all of a sudden the Warriors have a bunch of options going bigger. They can do Al Horford next to Quinton Post. We've seen some of that this game. They could do Al Horford next to TJD. They could do Al Horford and Draymond. They could do Al Horford, Kuminga. Horford can play with every single player on the lineup. There's not a single lineup combination where you can't have Horford out there. And just having a big man with that versatility that you can depend on, that's going to play both sides of the court, offense and defense. He's a high IQ passer. Handoffs, two-man game, playmaking out of the post. He's going to be a very, very underrated just impact player all season. His first stint, let's talk about his entire game. He played, 15 minutes, just under 15 minutes. He had 3 blocks and 1 steal in 14 and a half minutes. 3 blocks and 1 steal, bro. Making plays. 39-year-old man. He had a few blocks where he just swatted it, just sent it flying back. Just has his hands in every defensive play. He's going to be a very, very key addition. And his minutes next to Kuminga looked amazing. First of all, shout out to Jonathan Kuminga. He played a very patient game, a very under control game. His first 2 touches in the post, his first one, he kicked out to, I believe it was Buddy Hield for a 3. No, it was GP2. He had it in the post. He was patient. It wasn't quite there for him to call his own number. He kicked out to GP2. Top of key 3. Swish. Next time he had a touch in the post, I think he had a low fella on him. I think it was Gabe Vincent. Barbecue chicken. He sized him up, faced him up, just blew right past him to the left. The defender had no choice but to foul him because it was wraps. He was about to get a dunk. It was wraps. Couldn't compete defensively. Got 2 free throw attempts. He missed them both. But first game in preseason, man. Let's just hope he gets that free throw percentage up around 75% this season. That's my goal for JK, bro. If you can give me 75% from the free throw line, I can live with that. But 64% ain't cutting it. I think for his career, he's around 67%. I need to see 75% from Kuminga. But yeah, so Kuminga played a good game, bro. He was attacking the rebounds. He was out there scrapping with LaMarcus Aldridge, who has about 4 inches on him. He was out there scrapping with the other Lakers bigs. He was competing defensively, man. You love to see it, bro. You have to utilize and channel that athleticism in other ways besides just calling your own number to score. And that's what he's doing. If he can continue to channel that athleticism on the boards as a presence, defensively, making plays, you combine that with this high IQ team that he's going to be playing with. He's going to be paired with Al Horford a lot. High IQ player. He's going to get Kuminga the ball. Draymond's obviously going to get Kuminga the ball. You know what I'm saying? So this roster is way more set up for Kuminga to thrive with a lot more front court spacing. You see when Kuminga gets some of those touches in the mid post and Al Horford's out there spacing the floor, that big man can't just drop an anchor in the paint and just wait for Kuminga to get downhill. He has to honor Al Horford, or Horford's going to knock that down, bro. Al's a 37% three-point shooter? He's money. You can't leave him. So that opens up a lot of stuff for Kuminga. Moses Moody. Shout out to Moses Moody. I think Moses Moody is about to take a leap. I know it's one preseason game, but Moses Moody looks like he's ready to take a leap, man. He looked amazing. Defensively, he was active. He picked up a lot of fouls early, but whatever. I like the aggression. His insane wingspan, bro. 7'1" wingspan. He's 6'5" with a 7'1" wingspan. Like when he's matched up against like guards, yeah, his lateral quickness isn't great, but that wingspan, once he's gotten better at dialing in like his ability to gap and eat up space on a closeout using his length, it's beautiful to see, bro. He's a menace, disrupting the ball, reaching for the ball. Usually, I don't like when players like reach so much unless they're like all time great defenders, guys that earn the right to just keep reaching because you trust their instincts. Moody he reaches a lot. I'm not gonna lie, he reaches a lot, and sometimes he does get burned, but his length allows him to recover. His length allows him to get back into the play, rear view contest, go gadget, extendo arm, gets his arm back into play, and he gets a contest, bro. Offensively, he went 5 for 7 from 3. Jumper looks wet, bro. The jumper is already there. If Moody's shooting 40% from 3 and he takes another leap defensively, he's the Warriors starting shooting guard. Moses Moody is the Warriors starting shooting guard if what we've seen in this preseason game is what he is. You put him next to Steph as an off guard, space the floor, 40% shooter. He can hit some threes off of movement. You leave him open in the corner as cash. Defensively, he could take on the best defensive assignment. He can use that length to contain guards, contain bigger wings. You also have, now that you have Al Horford, now you have Draymond that could do a little more roaming and a little more help defense, as well as Jimmy Butler in the passing lanes. So you have Moody as a primary defender. Then you got Draymond and Jimmy Butler as sharks behind the play, just wreaking havoc in the passing lanes, help defense, making plays. And then you got Al Horford, who, as we just witnessed this game, moving amazing. He looks like he hasn't lost a step. He still looks great. He's in amazing shape. Just their defensive IQ, their connectiveness defensively is going to be insane. Like Al Horford, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler. You can't name a more intelligent front court defensively in terms of like combined defensive IQ. Absolutely off the charts, bro. So I'm excited. Obviously, they got to stay healthy, bro. They got to stay healthy. Now, DeAnthony Melton is going to be out for the first month of the season. He's still recovering from the ACL. Looks like the Warriors are going to try to give him that full 1 year recovery timeline, which is the right move to make because the Warriors are deep at guard. The Warriors have plenty of guards. As you can see, Moody's ready for the moment. Paz is solid. He's ready. You still got you got Buddy, who can, he's ready. You also got Seth, who didn't play tonight because he started training camp a few days later, so they wanted to ease him in. So he was a healthy scratch. But you got Seth, who eat up those minutes. You got Pat Spencer, who's the Warriors can throw out there and eat up some minutes every now and then. So the Warriors are deep, and they don't need to rush Melton back. Moody can more than hold it down as a starting 2 guard until he gets back. And even when he gets back, it looks like if Moody is playing great, Moody's your starting 2 guard. You got Melton as an option off the bench for pods. So that's great. The center rotation, Al Horford, stretch big. And then you got Quinton Post off the bench, another stretch big. 7-footer, one of the best shooters in the league. If he got a little stronger defensively, look out, bro. Now, there was a few plays this game where I was a little disappointed defensively, where I felt like he should have made more of a stand. It was one play where Jared Vanderbilt went right through him, just slithered around him, and just threw up like a little layup around him as he's backpedaling. You can't, bro. Post, bro. You're 7 feet tall. You can't let that happen. Can't let that happen. There was I think there was another play where the dude went up over him and made it. It was a few plays. But you know what, man? Not going to overreact. It is the first preseason game. And Quinton Post has shown the ability to improve and get better in season over the course of a season. We've seen it last season where the player he was in the beginning of the season when he was in the G League grinding versus the player he was in like the last few months of the season, completely different players. He literally improved within the season over a few months. So Quinton Post is a really smart kid. No, he's not even a kid. He's 25 years old. Quinton Post is a smart dude, man. He catches on fast. Let's hope just having that guidance from Al Horford as his vet, he's going to pick up a lot of things that he can take and improve defensively. But yeah, man. Oh yeah, Steph Curry. Wardell Steph Curry looks like he's ready. Looks like he doesn't even need preseason. He's ready to go. He's hitting shots. He's in great shape as always. Moving great. Obviously, the Lakers weren't playing. They weren't playing LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, or Marcus Smart. So, not much of a it wasn't the Lakers at full strength. But I mean, bro, it's preseason. Neither team is going full speed. Dudes are trying to get reps. They're trying to learn the plays and get build chemistry, get in sync. Everything we saw today was very. It was good. I like what I saw, but at the end of the day, we're not going to overreact too much for preseason because these games don't mean much. But you still love to see the progress. TJD looks shaky. Got to improve his hands. I trust QP way more. That was Cattle Dog. Yeah, unfortunately, man, I think TJD has already reached his peak as a player, bro. Like he came in an older rookie. I think he was what? How old was he when he came into the league? 23, 24. He's 25 now. There's areas of improvement he can make, but I don't see those areas of improvement. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. It's one preseason game. Let's not, just count him out right now. But I fear his peak. He might be close to his peak as a player, and it kind of just is what it is. The areas of improvement he really needs to make is just defensive. His reaction time defensively needs to improve because he has the athleticism. He has the shot blocking ability to get there and meet dudes at the summit, but he's just a step late. And even though he has the jumps and he has the ability to contest and block shots, dudes still finish over him because he's a second late. So, I mean, that's something. I mean, he's 25 years old. You hope maybe that improves. You're going into year 3 for him now, or year 4? No, year 3. I'm tripping. So yeah, bro. That's one thing I do worry about is if Horford or Draymond misses some time and they gotta play TJD more, that might be a little shaky. I'm cool with QP's role I'm cool with QP's rotation spot. QP's a nice option. But TJD, if there's injuries hitting in the front court, I don't know. Now, I don't see the Warriors upgrading that spot because they're so close to the tax line. And TJD's on a cheap veterans minimum. TJD's on a cheap minimum. Like his minimum is cheaper than a vet minimum for like an older player. This is because of years served. He's only a third-year player. The Warriors signed him to a minimum contract right out of the draft. And it was basically like the lowest salary slot possible because he's a young dude on a minimum. A young dude on a minimum versus an older vet on a minimum whose contract is prorated to be higher because of their veteran status. So the Warriors are so close to the tax line. I don't see them upgrading that TJD spot because if you're going to upgrade that spot, it's going to be a backup center that costs more. I just don't think they're trying to allocate those resources into another backup center. So the Warriors center rotation is what it is. Is Horford, Al Horford, Quinton Post, and TJD with Draymond obviously in the mix there. So that's what it is. And the Warriors are gonna make do with that. But I like what they all bring though. Like in theory, TJD adds a different dynamic with the vertical spacing. He got some pop athletically that Horford and Quinton Post obviously doesn't have. So we'll see. The Al Horford Quinton Post minutes together look solid. The Warriors were going to a zone. They were going to I think they went to a 2-3 zone and a 1-3-1, or no. No, it was like a 2-3. Horford's just his IQ defensively, just able to just cover in zones. He's been playing zone forever. Um, he just makes a lot of these schemes just look amazing because you don't got to worry about him being out of place, and he's gonna cover for other people. Let's see what y'all talking about. TJD will look a lot better in rotations with Melton. That's true. TJD and Melton has good chemistry. So we'll see when Melton comes back how that combination looks. But Melton, if y'all remember the games he played in preseason and regular season before he got injured, how many lobs did he have to TJD? Like 5 or 6 or something. Like great chemistry. So we'll see how that dynamic looks when Melton's back. But the Warriors are not going to rush Melton back. They're going to play it slow. They're going to give him the full year to recover. I believe Melton got injured in November last season. So if they hold him out the first month of the season, that puts him right on schedule for a 1-year recovery. Oh yeah, Jimmy Butler, Jeffrey Rosario, shout out to you. Yeah, Jimmy Butler looks good, looks spry. What do you have, like 2 or 3 and 1 plays? 2 or 3 and 1s, just going strong, bro. Like, that's what you want to see, man. Jimmy Butler, great shape. Look, here's the thing, man. People roast the Warriors for being old. I get it. They're old. But these dudes are Hall of Famers who keep themselves in amazing shape. Steph Curry's 37 years old, but his gas tank in terms of just his stamina. He's the most conditioned athlete in the league. Jimmy Butler, he's 36, in amazing shape. He's a workhorse. These dudes are grinders, bro. Off-season regimes are just perfect. When have you ever seen Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and Al Horford come into a season out of shape? They never do because they're always in shape. They're all-time greats for a reason, man. Now, Al Horford is not an all-time great. He's a Hall of Famer though. Jimmy Butler's not an all-time great. He's a Hall of Famer. And these dudes are Hall of Famers for a reason, bro. They're always in great shape, and that's why even though they're older, they're not your average 37-year-olds. Most 37, 38, 39-year-olds, where are they at? At the end of the bench, bro. Essentially assistant coaches. It's basically what they are. I'm talking like Taj Gibson type dudes. Taj Gibson's not that old yet, but I'm trying to think of an example. Udonis Haslem type dudes at the end of the bench. You they're not NBA players anymore, but they're out there as assistant coaches. They like having them out there. Bro, Steph Curry is still the best point guard in the league. I don't care what nobody say. Jimmy Butler is still a top wing in this league, bro. Al Horford, one of the most useful big men in the league still. He's one of the very few big men that fit this archetype. A two-way stretch 5. That's a high IQ player, good passer. Yeah. What's the short list of centers that meet that criteria? Stretch 5, offensively, good passer, high basketball IQ. Defensively, very great switch player, great switch defender, can still be a deterrent at the rim, great communicator. Okay? How many centers meet that criteria? And if they do meet that criteria, they're getting paid like $30 million a year. There's very few players that meet that criteria. So the fact that the Warriors got Al Horford for like $5 million that fits that archetype, when usually players that do all those things are getting paid $30 million, 25, 30. I mean, that's a steal, man. I mean, the only reason the Warriors were able to acquire him is because he's old. So Warriors fans that was roasting Al Horford, y'all should be happy that man is 39 years old. Because if he was 30 years old, in this league, in today's league, with his skill set, he'd be getting paid $30 million a year. He'd be on a max contract. He'd be a max player, bro. So, yeah. I like what I seen, bro. The Warriors are in a good spot. And let's just hope they get through the preseason healthy. I'm not trying to see no injuries, no nothing, bro. Just no rolled ankles, no hammies. But it looks like the Warriors are slow playing the main guys. All the vets are only playing under 15 minutes. They're going to start ramping that up as the preseason continues. So we'll see. Yeah, man. Al Horford's the best big the Warriors have had since Andrew Bogut, bro. He's the best big man the Warriors have had since Andrew Bogut. He's the most skilled big man the Warriors have had in forever. Who's a more skilled big man that the Warriors have had? Let's just say this era. In the Steph Curry era, there's no other big man more skilled that they've had over Al Horford. It's insane, bro. Like, he's a 37% three-point shooter. So he's cash. And that's not on like one and a half threes a game. That's on like 5 attempts a game. Like, if you leave him open, he's getting it up. He's not no passive, selective shooter. Nah, if you leave him open, he's getting it up. He's shooting 37%. Wet ball. Great passer. Extremely intelligent, smart passer. He's not making risky plays. He has all the fundamentals down, bro. He has all the inside passes, big man to big man, handoff passes. He had a handoff to Draymond. Horford was in a post. Draymond was cutting. Beautiful handoff. Of course, Draymond smoked it. Smokey the Bear. But, I mean, are we surprised? Not really. Draymond's going to smoke layups, bro. It is what it is. But, yeah, just overall a great showing from Al Horford. Let's check out the final stat line, bro. Let's check this out. Al Horford played 14 minutes. He had 3 points, which was a three-pointer he made. He went 1 for 3 on threes. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. No turnovers, no fouls, plus 13. His first time playing with this team. No turnovers, no fouls. He was never out of position. Even though he's implementing new schemes with a new team, with new personnel, he was never out of position to have to foul. He had no turnovers, so no miscommunications. And he can hit. He can shoot from 3. And he's a defensive anchor, bro. It's crazy. This dude's in here. That was saying the Warriors should sign Thomas Bryant over Al Horford because Horford's old. This is what I say when people got to stop. People got to stop. Okay, I'll put it like this, man. If you didn't watch the tape, bro, don't speak down on a player. Because the same dudes that was saying Al Horford's old, why would the Warriors sign him, ain't watched a second of Al Horford tape all last season. Not 1 second. Because if you did, you would know that the dude's a really good player still. So for people to suggest Thomas Bryant. By the way, is Thomas Bryant signed yet? Is he still a free agent? Nobody wants him? I wonder why. That's crazy. Thomas Bryant catching strays. That's crazy. But yeah, come on, man. Come on. Like, Al Horford was great last season. Not great, but he was a really good player last season. It looks like he hasn't lost a step at all. And he's ready to go. Buddy Hield, 11 points, 3 steals, went 5 or 10 from the field. Plus 16. Shout out to Buddy. Very solid. Kuminga, final stat line. He had 5 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and he had a block. He had a nice block protecting the rim. Plus 7 in 15 minutes. The key stats there is 6 rebounds and 4 assists. He was actively looking to get guys open. He was moving the ball. He was completely under control. He picked his spots. He only attempted 3 shots. He had multiple opportunities to take a 3, and he made the right play. Instead of just taking a 3, like, oh, I'm open, I may as well shoot this. Pump fake, got to the rim. He had an amazing play where he got to about 15 feet. He stepped in from a 3-pointer. The defender was closing out, pump faked, and he just went with the underhand, like a slick layup, like leaned into it, using his athleticism to get basically from 15 feet, like very close to the rim, and then just did like an underhand, and he slipped the layup in. Great play. Very athletic, very smooth. Guy Santos was out there, 5 points, 3 assists, 2 for 4. He had a nice finish with using his footwork. Santos has always had good footwork. Very solid role player, very skilled. Provides size, hustle, some 3-point shooting. Will Richards, he went 1 for 5 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. He did hit a shot there with about 30 seconds left in the game. But I just like that Will Richards looked like he belonged. He fit in nicely into the schemes. He wasn't forcing anything. He was just trying to be a cog. He had a nice fast break. It was him, Pat Spence, and TJD. A little 3-on-1 fast break that led to a TJD dunk, which was nice. Let me see what else we got to talk about here. I mean, that's pretty much. Yeah, Steph Curry finished with 14 points, 5 for 7, 3 for 5 from 3. Very solid. As I mentioned, Moses Moody, 19 points, 7 for 9 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3. Plus 21. Moses Moody was a plus 21. Quentin Post was a plus 20. Quentin Post, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 for 4 from the field, plus 20. All his lineups with him out there look very solid, man. The spacing he provides, even when he's not out there getting shots up, teams know he can shoot now, so they're not going to give that up, which opens up the floor for his teammates. Pods looked solid. He's got the start tonight. 8 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 for 4 from 3. Got to the free throw line, knocked them both down. Plus 16 for the game. Plus 16 in 17 and a half minutes. So yeah, everybody looked good, man. Draymond Green was out there. He looked a little shaky, but you know, Draymond's not out there to score. He went 1 for 6. Yeah, Draymond's not out there to score, man. Now we got Al Horford that can space the floor in the front court. It's not as much pressure on Draymond to hit shots now because Al Horford's gonna be doing that. Al Horford in a vacuum is not as great of a defender as Draymond, but he's a really good defender, and he's bigger, and he provides spacing. So just having him as I can't stress this enough, another veteran option out there defensively, and he can fit into any lineup, bro. It's going to be so essential for this team moving forward. King Corey, what's up, bro? Horford and Jimmy changed the game for us. Yeah, man. Horford and Jimmy, bro. There's going to be a lot of lineups with them too as well. I can foresee some lineups where you got Post at the 5, Horford at the 4. You got Jimmy at the 3, and then you can have Moody at the 2, and then you can even have Steph at the 1. So Steph and Jimmy surrounded by shooters basically. Or you could do lineups where you try to get Kuminga involved. You could do Steph and Kuminga as like the 2-man focus, and then you got Moody out there, and then you got Horford and Post. Or you can put Guy at the 4 and Guy at the 4 and Horford at the 5. And these lineups can hold up defensively. So it's a lot of options, bro. A lot of optionality. Should they start Moody over Pods? I think Moody should start. I think Moody should be the starting 2 guard just because he has more juice defensively in those defensive matchups. Because if either Pods or Moody starts, one of those dudes has to be the primary defensive ace in a starting lineup. You're not gonna have Jimmy chasing around dudes. You're not gonna have Draymond doing it. Obviously, Steph ain't doing it because he's a 37-year-old man. He's the greatest offensive player of all time. He shouldn't be using his legs for that. So whoever that off guard is has to be the one that's doing that. So I trust Moody more defensively to hold up against lineups across the board. So I think it should be Moody. Pods, ball handling, and all that good stuff can be better utilized in a second unit, especially since Melton's out. The second unit is in need of a ball handler, so that's going to be Pods' role, and that should be pretty sweet. Jimmy, Dre, Horford, all elite help defenders. Very scary defense. Yeah, man. The Warriors are going to be a top defense this season. They're going to be top 1 to 3. And even if they don't finish that high in a regular season, they're for sure going to be one of the best defenses in the playoffs. I promise you that. I can guarantee it if they're healthy. Mr. Level, what's up, bro? I know you like that Thomas Bryant slander. Let's see. King Corey, what's up, bro? You made it to the live, man. I appreciate you, bro. What was your thoughts on the game? Keith, what's up? Jaden, what's up, bro? JS Win, I see you. Berserk Monk, what's up, bro? Cattle Dog, what's up? I appreciate y'all for pulling up on me. Yeah, man, so I like what I see. Obviously, we're not gonna overreact here, but in case for those of y'all that's just getting in here, I like what I see from the Warriors, man. I think they have a really, I think they're a title contender for sure. Now, in terms of where they're gonna finish in the regular season, I don't see them finishing as a top three seed just because they're an older team that's gonna pace themselves a little more. I can see them finishing anywhere from four. I think the most likely scenario is they finish fourth or fifth, not because of talent level, but because of they're an older veteran team. They're gonna rest these guys. They're gonna try to save them for the playoffs, and that's gonna lead to like more games where, the younger dudes are playing a little more. There's a few more mistakes being made, and they might, get a few losses. Obviously, older guys, there might be some injuries going on, unfortunately. So I don't see them being a top three seed not because of talent, but because of age and trying to survive the regular season and get to the playoffs. But in terms of talent, if I stack the Warriors up talent wise, I think they're right there with any team in the league. I'm not scared of OKC. I'm not scared of Denver. I don't think either one of those teams necessarily want to see the Warriors in a playoff series. Now, again, it's preseason, game one. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to overreact. I'm just saying this is a veteran team. These younger players have another year to catch up and get with the program and contribute. Moses Moody is now in year 5. Jonathan Kuminga is now in year 5. Pods is now in year 3. Guy Santos is now in year what? Was he year 4? Something like that. Quentin Post is 25 years old now. TJD, 25 years old. These young, back in the 2022 playoff run, really the only young dude that was contributing near the end of the playoffs was Jordan Poole. Moody wasn't getting much run. Kuminga wasn't getting much run. They were like 21 years old. Now, you had a few more years of experience, a few more years of continuity, and you just hope that they're finally ready to take up some of that slack for these older dudes to get them to the season. New Orleans is a wild card this year. What you talking about, Mr. Level? The wild card for what? The play-in? Come on, man. The West is strong, but I only see a couple of good teams in the West that can give us belt. Who gonna give the Warriors a belt, bro? I don't know about all that. But anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. I'm gonna keep this one short, cause I do gotta I got some stuff to do super early in the morning. I gotta wake up extra early, so I'm about to go to sleep. But I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Y'all let me know. Y'all can leave a comment after. I'll check it later in the morning. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling, and I appreciate y'all, bro, for pulling up. So I'll catch you on the next one.